Okay, before I get to your comments tonight, I want to share with you what I had to eat today. I was off work and started my day with uh, about 8 o'clock, I guess. I had 2 cups of black coffee, and then throughout the morning, I had water and a couple more cups of coffee that were decaf. The first two were caffeinated, all of them black coffee. By noon, we did bacon and eggs, but had 3 eggs and 4 strips of bacon. Always salt my eggs pretty heavily too with that pink Himalayan salt that you've seen us use before. I'll probably pop up a picture here in a minute and show you. Uh, my breakfast plate this morning, and since I was off work and we could cook, Isabel could cook the eggs fresh. I had them over easy with the yolks still soft. That's my favorite way to eat eggs. But when I'm packing my lunch to go to work, it's easier if we have the hard-boiled eggs in, and so that's what we usually do. And so that was lunch, and then uh, this afternoon we were watching a movie and on Netflix, and I used to be really bad about snacking on chip like Doritos or tortilla type chips or peanuts. I'd have a huge jar of peanuts and just be snacking away on those. Or when we're watching a movie, sometimes popcorn. I was never a big candy eater, but all those other things, those chips and popcorn and peanuts and stuff, were a real temptation for me. But while we were watching a movie this afternoon, I went to my new favorite, which are pork rinds. And this is a brand that I buy quite often. There's other brands too. I've bought other brands. This one's a barbecue flavor. They have a buffalo flavor that I really like too. And you can get them plain if you want to. Um, they're zero carbs though. That's the reason I go with these over other types of snacks is that pork rinds are zero carbs. Okay, and then for dinner tonight, we still had plenty of the chicken legs left over that you saw Isabel make the other night, and so I had 3 of those, and that completed, what I ate for today. You notice she made a pretty good sized batch, 14 of those chicken legs, and there's only 2 of us to eat them, so that'll last us for several days, for at least 2 or 3 days anyway. And she does that when she makes hard-boiled eggs. She'll boil up a complete dozen. And when she fries bacon, she'll make 2 packages. She'll fry up a full 2 packages of bacon and put the extra in the fridge. And, like the lasagna was a big pan of lasagna, and it lasted for more than one day. And she makes a breakfast casserole sometimes that lasts more than one day. And that when we find a recipe that's keto friendly and that we both like, we might as well make plenty of it, and then we can eat it more than one day, and then it's not such a struggle to come up with a new recipe every day. We can use that over different days. So that's what we do. And I'd mentioned to you before that sometimes as a dessert after my evening meal, I'll have a little bit of dark chocolate, just a small square, and I showed you one that was 95% on the dark chocolate. This one is one I just found that's 100%, and so I've been having that lately. Another thing that I keep in the pantry all the time that I've done throughout the whole 8 months. Early on, I heard Dr. Boz say that sardines were a good thing to have, and so I always have sardines. Not always this brand. There's another brand that I really like. I can't remember the brand name, but this is a real good brand too. And we always keep Kerrygold pure Irish butter in. We like this particular type of butter because it's milk from grass-fed cows, and also we really like that brand of butter. We never use margarine, never use any kind of seed oils or vegetable oils, no canola oil. I could do a whole video on that, on the importance of getting your oils right, and probably will do that at some point. So now let's get to your comments. Deborah Sadler said, love this bill. It is so helpful gives me great ideas for meals. Bill, what exactly do you mean close and open the window? I'm sorry if that was confusing for people. I replied to that by typing in the answer online, but for those of you that don't follow all the replies and everything in the comment section, what I meant by opening and closing the window, I was referring to an eating window. Those that are familiar with intermittent fasting may be familiar with that term. The whole idea of intermittent fasting is to have a narrow window during the day when you eat so that you give your pancreas and your liver and everything time to recover. The whole idea of intermittent fasting is to reduce the number of hours in a day that you eat, and that's called your eating window. And instead of your eating window being 16 hours, if you could reduce that to 8 hours by starting at noon and ending at 8 o'clock at night, that's better for you. If you could reduce that to 6 hours, that's even better. With OMAD, which means one meal a day, you can reduce that to 1 hour. Just have 1 hour a day that you eat, and you can pick what time of day you want that to be, whether you want it to be your evening meal or your noon meal or your breakfast meal. For the months and months that I did one meal a day, I did it for the evening meal, as I've explained in other videos. But okay, so that's what I meant by opening and closing the window. When I wanted to gain a little more weight, I went from only having a 1 hour window to having maybe an 8 hour window and having 3 meals a day for a little while until I put on the little bit of extra weight I wanted to. And then once I got where I wanted to be, then I collapsed it back down to only like 4 hours or so. So it was very empowering to me to realize that I can control my weight and my blood sugar and everything by varying that window of eating. And Dr. Fung has even said many times it's almost more important when you eat than what you eat, because he sees great success with intermittent fasting for people who are vegans, for people who are vegetarians. They still have to watch, if they're diabetic, they still have to watch their carbohydrates. But of course, it's a lot easier to watch your carbohydrates if you eat meat and eggs and things like that, because you can really fill up and get a lot of nutrition without any carbs, in meat and eggs and stuff. So anyway, that's what the eating window was all about, or opening and closing the window. Cat Lady writes, Miss Isabel, at what temp did you bake the drumsticks and for how long, please? It was 400 degrees for 40 minutes. Of course, that length of time could vary, depending on your particular oven and everything, or the size of drumstick, whether you have little skinny ones or whether you have great big fat ones. Ours were just kind of medium size. If you said I missed it, sorry. Suggestion: you might want to post the recipe, ingredients, how-tos, all of that in the description section so folks can refer back to that instead of having to play the whole video. That's a good idea, and we're learning as we go here. This channel's still just a month old, this YouTube channel, and the cooking is a day or two old. So we'll definitely take that suggestion to heart. Thanks so much for getting out of your comfort zone to share your recipes with us. You were great, and I'm sure we all enjoyed it. That was Cat Lady. Thank you, Cat Lady, for the nice comments. J.R. Lopez, hi, Bill. How big are the ribeyes you eat? I'm getting a lot of good ideas from your channel. Thanks. My ribeyes are usually about a pound, sometimes a little larger, sometimes a little smaller, but I like good fatty ribeyes, and they're usually about a pound. If I can't eat it all, I'll stick the rest of it in, like say maybe it was 1.2 pounds or something, and I'm not going to stuff myself. So if I couldn't eat it all, I might take a third of that, as a leftover, and put it in the fridge, and might take it to lunch the next day with a couple of hard-boiled eggs or something instead of my bacon. But anyway, it's usually around a pound, the ribeyes that I eat. RT Zapper, thank you for the videos, Bill and Isabel. I have started doing OMAD, that's one meal a day, since Wednesday. Going great. I had a sirloin steak with mushrooms, onions, and extra green beans fresh from my garden for one meal yesterday. Coffee for breakfast. Today I'm going to make chicken wings, chicken legs, but like Isabel, with the olive oils and Frank's Red Hot seasoning and cauliflower and broccoli. I'm trying to lose 50 pounds. Thanks again, and look forward to more videos. Well, thanks, RT Zapper. That sounds like good choices you're making there. And on a sirloin steak, they're not as fatty as a ribeye, so I would for myself, you do it however you want to do it, but I would definitely be smearing that with some good Kerrygold butter, Irish butter there. Okay, and Patricia Johnson says, really enjoying your videos since finding you through the Beat Diabetes YouTube channel. Again, that Beat Diabetes channel is by Dennis Pollock, and he interviewed both Isabel and I both, and posted those recently separately. Posted mine one day and hers another day. But that completes our comments for today, and this also completes 6 days of me sharing what I eat on each day, and tomorrow will be 7 days. Then I'll quit doing a day-by-day rundown of what I eat. I might give you more of a weekly summary at the end of each week going forward. But tomorrow I'll do one more day of sharing what I had for that one day, and then you're probably getting a pretty good idea of what I eat. I don't eat a big variety of things within a given week. I may eat the same thing 3 or 4 times, but it's all stuff that works real well for keeping my blood sugar low, and so that's what it's all about for me. And so we'll end now by saying, live healthy and finish strong.